Welcome everyone who's on Facebook joining us. Thank you. Thank you for everyone who's here in the audience. Welcome to a celebration of Montgomery and Texas. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat. We will have two different panels and we'll hopefully get a chance to kind of discuss those questions as we go along. If you have any technical issues or anything, please type those in there too. We'll try to make sure we can make all those things happen, make sure it's running smoothly. Facebook, if you're on Facebook, please type your questions in the comments section. And I think we're ready to get started. So our introduction is going to be by Dr. Plotkin. Dr. Plotkin is a broadly trained marine scientist who has spent most of her career conducting science to inform and influence domestic and international policies and conservation practices. She has also led administration teams at 3 different institutions of higher education in research, administration, development, and support, and became the director of Texas Sea Grant in September 2011.
Howdy. I'm honored to welcome you to the first of 4 celebrations of a 10-year partnership between the Gulf of Mexico Research Initiative and the Gulf of Mexico states. In 2014, Montgomery and the Gulf of Mexico Sea Grant College programs formed a partnership to share oil spill science with the people whose livelihoods depend on a healthy Gulf of Mexico. This partnership created the Sea Grant Oil Spill Science Outreach Program. Next slide, please. The Gulf Sea Grant Programs was the logical partner to expand the reach of Montgomery scientific discoveries because we have boots on the ground in coastal communities that extend across the Gulf states from Texas through Florida. Our reach across the Gulf is broad, and our trust relationships with the people and these communities are very strong. Next slide, please. The Gulf Sea Grant programs were also a great fit to work with Montgomery because of our model of integrating research and extension, shown here in this illustration. Simply defined, it's the use of knowledge to solve problems. In this two-way flow of information, Sea Grant harnesses the intellectual capacity of our academic institutions to develop science-driven solutions to solve problems of our coastal communities. We serve as a vital bridge between our coastal communities and our academic institutions. And now I'd like to pass the baton over to our National Sea Grant Office Director, Dr. Jonathan Pennock, who will tell you a little bit more about the Sea Grant College program.
Yeah, thank you, Pam, and it's certainly an honor to be invited to help kick off the celebration. 10-year partnership. It's hard for me to believe, being outside the Gulf now, that it seems like it was yesterday that things started up. And I'm certainly proud of the relationship between Sea Grant and Montgomery and the development of the critical scientific and management advances that have resulted from the partnership. Some of you know that I spent 14 years in my early career at the University of Alabama and the Dauphin Island Sea Lab working on coastal ecosystems along the Gulf Coast. So I have a strong attachment to the Gulf, and I've closely followed the advances of science and management in the region, and some of it unfortunately driven by major challenges after I left, including Hurricane Katrina and other natural disasters, and of course the Deepwater Horizon spill that is ultimately what gets us here today and the topic of the discussions today. For me, I was supported in my PhD work through Sea Grant. When I was in Alabama, I was a member of a number of the Sea Grant advisory committees and boards there. I moved to New Hampshire, became director of the New Hampshire Sea Grant College program, and now as director of the National Sea Grant College program. Certainly all of those things, it just makes me so proud to be a Sea Granter when I see the role that Sea Grant has played in partnering with Montgomery in developing and delivering critical new knowledge to the environmental and health challenges that were caused by the Deepwater Horizon spill. I'd be remiss if Sea Grant fingerprints are all over the relationship that we're sort of celebrating today. Well, Pam already talked a little bit about the oil spill science outreach team, and certainly they deserve so much credit for moving things along over these 10 years. I'd be remiss if I didn't note that Gomery's board chair, Rita Caldwell, who will be on in just a minute, was Marilyn Sea Grant's first director. And certainly Chuck Wilson, the chief scientist with Gomery, came to Gomery directly from his position as the director of the Louisiana Sea Grant College program. So you mix and match all of those things, and it certainly is a tremendous partnership. And from my perspective, it's just something I'm proud of when I'm able to look at all the work that you all have done. And we've played just a very, very minor role in that at the national office level. Certainly through Rita and Chuck's leadership and that of the four Gulf Sea Grant programs, the partnership represented in the oil spill science team illustrates fundamental aspects of Sea Grant's approach. And Pam talked about those just briefly. I'll go into a little bit more detail, but that approach is applied across the national Sea Grant College program network, which actually there are 34 programs in that network. And that work's exemplified by a few things that I think are particularly pertinent today. A commitment to science and science-based decision-making. That is the base of all we do. And as Pam said, the research part of harnessing the expertise of the universities around the country, certainly for today, focusing on those who are primarily from Texas and the Gulf Coast who've been such critical participants in the work. Certainly Sea Grant has a strong commitment to translating science to application to serve communities, certainly around the Gulf, but all of our coastal and Great Lakes states and Puerto Rico and Guam benefit from this network and our partners, bringing information to bear from things they've experienced. I know particularly the Alaska folks, I know there's an early partnership with Deepwater Horizon. That network is critically important. Sea Grant has a focus on supporting resilient communities and economies. It's one of our 4 focus areas. And it's certainly a focus area that's critically important to the Gulf region that has had no shortage of experiences with disasters that require special expertise and for response and recovery. And I think Sea Grant is right in the middle of that mix. Certainly Sea Grant has a recognition and a commitment to address the longer term threats and opportunities that are posed by a changing environment. Certainly that's impacting the Gulf as well and interleaves with some of the acute issues that we have to deal with. And then the ability to work across local, state, regional, and even national levels is a hallmark for us. So certainly the partnership represented by the team, it's not just a single partnership between a single Sea Grant program, although represented by Texas well today. There will be a number of these same celebrations around the Gulf. And it isn't just a single Sea Grant program and Gomery, but it's a collaboration with the 4 programs in the Gulf. And then that's leveraged at the national level so that there's a lot of sharing of information back and forth. And I think that's what makes the Sea Grant approach, but also the Gomery approach so powerful in doing what you all have done. Certainly the existence of the long established Sea Grant programs, and we've been around for 54 years now, and the Sea Grant personnel who are based on the docks, in the counties, in the municipalities that are directly affected is a hallmark for the way we work, and certainly part of the approach that was used to really have an impact here through the work that's been done. And I think the support between these longer lasting networks, of which Sea Grant is one, and entities like Gomery that are stood up for reasons. They're a little bit more time bounded to some extent, but getting that partnership between the long established programs like Sea Grant and a Gomery that comes on because of a specific event, I think has enhanced the whole and the results that have come from that. And to some extent, Congress, NOAA, and other agencies in their own way have ensured that that foundation is there and interactions with the states. And certainly that's an important part of being able to address really complex issues like we're doing here. So in closing, I'm just so pleased to be able to celebrate with you all and certainly celebrate the Gomery Sea Grant partnership over the last decade in this space. And really it goes beyond the two entities, and it's to all of you who've shared the common vision and a spirit of cooperation to address the critical challenges that are going to be discussed later today. So thanks for letting me join, and I'll hand it back over to Pam or someone else. So thank you.
Danny, here I'm going to step in. Thank you very much, Dr. Pennock, for your comments and for your ability to join us today. We really appreciate it.